I was tagged in this post on Twitter, and the thing is, I almost didn't find it until I thankfully had to scroll through a few tweets to try to acquire this quote right here. Now, if y'all remember a couple days ago, actually last week, I did a video in which Mitch McConnell had told Barack Obama that he needed to keep his mouth shut when it came to addressing 45 and this virus, and how, I was saying, Mitch McConnell got a lot of nerve considering everything going on with his state. Well, now I have found a quote in which Barack Obama gave at that virtual graduation they had, in which now I can say that he should keep his mouth shut about this. So, you know that the class of 2020, whether it's high school, college, or what have you, they had to do virtual graduation style ceremonies for some of them. Or I think they did not virtual style, but they basically did a celebration for the people graduating for the class of 2020. And Barack Obama was one of the speakers. Well, this is a quote that he gave from his speech, and I'm going to read it to you. Second, you can't do it alone. Meaningful change requires allies and common sense. In a common cause. As African Americans, we are particularly... Oh, now he addresses himself as African American. That's a first, or that's a rarity. We are particularly attuned to injustice, inequality, and struggle, but that also should make us more alive to the experiences of others who have been left out and discriminated against. Here comes the intersectionality BS. So rather than say what's in it for me and what's in it for my community and to heck with everyone else, stand up for and join up with everyone who's struggling, whether immigrants, refugees, the rural poor, the academy, low-income workers of every background, women who so often are subject to their own discrimination and burdens and not getting equal pay for equal work. Look out for folks whether they are white or black or Asian or Latino or Native American. As Fannie Lou Hamer once said, nobody's free until everybody's free. Now, did you hear all of those groups that he just named? But we are supposed to literally extend out our arms, and I'm talking about as far as the eye can see. Think Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four. That's how long of a stretch our arms should reach, and probably even beyond. He wants us to show support for these other groups who rarely, if ever, give us any type of support. And notice what he said. And so rather than say what's in it for me and what's in it for my community, basically saying that we should not be for ourselves first whatsoever. We should be for everybody else and put whatever we have going on the back burner. That, unfortunately, has been something many of us have been doing since integration. So we're talking about well over 50 years of putting other people's issues on the back burner. On the front line and putting our stuff on the back burner. And that has been a huge hindrance to us for decades and still is to this day. We're paying for it right now. You can tell that he was about to head in this direction the minute that he said but. Whenever someone inserts that word but, he said that also should make us more alive to the experiences of others who have been left out and discriminated against. I don't know if 44 knows this, but it's mainly because of those groups that he mentioned, which is why we've been left out and discriminated against. Now you want us to rally support for the same group of people that, one, would not only rally to support us, but two, have been known to be the cause of our hindrance. Now, granted, some of us have been the cause of our own hindrance, granted. But those other groups definitely did not help at all. See, some people got upset with me when I did that video calling out Mitch McConnell when he said he should keep his mouth shut about 45 when it was directed to Barack Obama. But it's the reason why I did what I said about Mitch McConnell, because it's Mitch McConnell. There's no explanation. And there doesn't really need to be one. We know his track record. But here I am. I'm calling this out right now because this is a load of crap. This guy actually wants us to literally extend our hands and our arms out for all of these groups. Look at these groups. He says immigrants, mind you, it's because of them why many of us can't are low on jobs. And they're here, and most of them are here illegally. We're not talking about legal immigrants who actually got here and did the process the right way to become an American citizen. He said the rural poor, which is basically palm-colored Midwestern folks. We already know about the academy. He said low-income workers of every background, women who so often are subject to their own discrimination and burdens in not getting equal pay for equal work. That sounds like a problem. That seems like a real feminist problem. Notice that it's mainly palm-colored women, which, in my opinion, that's coded for palm-colored women. That statement, that's their issue. He says, look out for folks whether they are white or black. And the thing is, I'm starting to think the black might be non-American blacks. Then he said Asian or Latino or Native American. Did you hear that? Like, just reading it back just left a bad taste in my mouth. They want us to literally show support for all of these groups. And who's going to support us? Not one of them. And if they do, it's going to be very limited supply, or it's going to come with some kind of stipulation attached to it. And then he threw a quote in there from Fannie Lou Hamer to try to soften the blow. To 44, if you want to know why many black people started to push away from you, it's because of statements like this. It's a lot of other things as well. Like what happened with Freddie Gray in Baltimore, and you called those boys out there thugs. Or how you threw your support behind the academy and gave them what you gave them. Like, you did everything for every other group, but barely did anything for us. It's only one thing that you was about to do for us. Unfortunately, a certain group within our community ruined that. And that was probably the only thing you was ever going to do. You didn't even attempt to try to do something else. You said, oh, that's the one thing I tried to do for you. They ruined it. I'm not doing anything else. But you have done for all these other groups who have said and done worse about and to you and to your family, and says things about your family. But you kept on going like the little engine that could until you got it done. And after you got it done, they still talk crap about you. We were your biggest supporters. But now you want to make it seem like it's our fault. You even said that if Hillary didn't get elected, it would be ruining your legacy. We was like, okay, whatever. And she still didn't get elected, and we still don't care. And they're still harping about it these years later. So who's the real hurt one? Then you got your wife up there peddling the same thing. Like, talk about tone deafness in the flesh. This is why many people don't vibe with you like that anymore. It was cool in 2008 and somewhat in 2012, but we're over it. And many of us are over you. So you can write this and say all you want in this backhanded statement, because that's really what it is. It's more of an insult than anything. It's not words of encouragement whatsoever at all. But that's all you'll have is these words, because many of us have tuned you out. And it is about time. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one.